Hi, hello, Vinny and Dragon here, and welcome to another video. Now, I'm just doing a little bit of VGC laddering, but I wanted to yap a little bit. You know, I just have a little fun video while I ladder up some ranks because I figured you guys deserved a video, and I just wanted to talk. Now, some cool stuff that I want to talk about is I wanted to talk about the new Superman movie. I just felt like I was worth talking about because it's really, really, really good. I strongly urge all of you to watch the new Superman movie, and in fact, this is going to be a Superman review. I wanted to review Superman, and I wanted to play Pokemon, so you're going to be subjected to that. Shout out to Aaron Cybertron Zeng, by the way, for the team. I steal all these teams, but this is a cool Kyogre team that I just wanted to play with. But yeah, I wanted to review Superman off the bat, get off some opening thoughts. Right when this battle starts, I don't know why it's taking so long to actually find a trainer for once. There we go. But yeah, off the bat, I really like how they just weren't subtle at all with the metaphor. This person does not have a restricted Pokemon on their team. I think it's supposed to be counter rain. It looks like it's counter rain. I just won't bring Kyogre. I'll bring Amoonguss, Fluttermane to help deal with Incin and the Dragapult. I'll bring you, and then actually I could do Kyogre in the back, but they really weren't subtle at all with the sort of political messaging of the film, which I really appreciated. But ultimately, the film was a superhero movie, and I think they nailed that. It was really, really fun. I liked it a lot. They did their thing. They made it fun. They made it silly, but it was still really good. Some cons of the movie. I'm a big Green Lantern fan, and I think they did Guy Gardner good. It's just for the first usage of Guy Gardner in this new sort of DCU, or this new first usage of Green Lantern, excuse me, in this new DCU. I really wish that it would have been Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart. I know they're getting their own sort of show, but it's just kind of upsetting when you've been waiting so long. But I mean, I hope with all my heart that it's good. I really do. I hope their show is good. And Guy Gardner was silly. He did his role. I just kind of wish that role was more, you know? But I mean, it's a superhero, it's a Superman film, so I can't really conflate too much with that. And Supergirl was a fun cameo. Mr. Terrific was awesome in that movie, by the way. They made Mr. Terrific the most, like, cool, badass motherfucker for no reason. And it was really interesting. Also, Dragapult dies to this. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing there. Fluttermane kills that every day of the week. But yeah, Mr. Terrific was a huge focal point of this movie, and he did amazing. I think it was awesome. The relationship between Lois Lane and Superman is one of the best it's ever been. We see Nuke Gas here, which is okay. That's that's a fun little ability shield. I like that. But I think that we Spore Incin here, and then we switch out to Calyrex. But it was really good. I liked how they used it in this movie. I liked how they did the relationship. I felt like it was real with how they portrayed Lois Lane as a character. Lois Lane is the best she's ever been. And Jimmy was also fun. I liked Jimmy Olsen. I don't really like comic Jimmy Olsen that much. I'm not like moved by him too much. And Moongus lives this because he's goated. And I doubt that Weezing's gonna kill Amoonguss on the Amoonguss. Nope, on the Calyrex slot, which he dodges. And then we Spore. Lex Luthor, 10 out of 10, amazing in this movie. Lex Luthor and his like, he is a menace in this movie, and it's really cool. I love it. He has absolutely no chill. Biggest hater in the history of cinema right there. It's Lex Luthor. But I think that his posse was definitely a bit bad. You know, spoiler alert for the movie. I think the Ultraman reveal was like cool, but like it was kind of like, okay, you know, I don't really care, if that makes sense. I mean, I guess it's a bit disingenuous to say I didn't care. It's just like the clone thing was like, okay, sure, whatever, you know. We Origin Pulse here, and then we Trick Room here. I think that it was a cool little, like, Bizarro nod, I guess. Like, it was fun to sort of reference Bizarro. But they could have just had Bizarro, I feel like. Or, I mean, I guess Ultraman they might be like, oh, he survived or whatever in the black hole. Maybe. I also, the weird nanotech chick, who I actually don't even know who that's based off of comics-wise. I'm actually not familiar with her. She might be an original character. I'm not particularly moved by her either. She was kind of annoying. But Lex himself was great. I think that Lex's, like, co-researchers or whatever were pretty funny. They were just kind of amusing background characters, if anything. Like the guys in the room doing the fighting game combos. But I feel like just that's one of my biggest complaints. Like, I wish at the end Lex hopped in a mech and said, alright, I'm gonna 1v1 Superman myself. Because the final fight with, what's his name, Ultraman, it was just kind of like, okay, whatever, who cares? You know, it didn't move me the same way like a one-on-one confrontation with Lex in a mech suit would move me. I think that would be really cool. I think that there's a lot of interesting stuff they could have set up for DCU. Oh, this is going to be just a kill, yeah. Alright, well that's GG for this guy. But there's a lot of interesting stuff they could set up with the DCU for this. I personally wasn't a big fan of the Batman. And I know that that's going to get me, like, crucified, but I didn't really like the Batman. But they seem to be going in, like, a direction, like, James Gunn seems to be talking about doing, like, a World's Finest movie. I think that they should just do it with Pattinson Batman, because that is one of the best parts of that movie, is his Batman interpretation. And so, I think that just doing it with those two, making a Batman sequel that could be better, I think is definitely the route that I would take. I think that there's a whole lot of other stuff you could build off of this. Obviously, you have the insertion of the Justice League. People are just not using restricted Pokemon. I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna abuse it. I see no reason not to. You know, yeah, we're gonna do that. I love Weavile, I love Grim. Like, these are solid Pokemon, but Stunky and fucking... What are we doing? That's not Stunky, that's Skunk Tank. Anyway, I think that those were, like, if we go off of the Batman and Superman as, like, the pillars for the new DCU, I think that there is definitely something to build off of there. I think that we need a Wonder Woman. I'm a big Wonder Woman fan. We need a Wonder Woman. I think that there's a ton of cool actresses that could play her. I'm not super big in the actress games, so like people are gonna have to tell me, be like, oh, she'll do a good job. I'm not like super big into fan casting. It's not really my thing. I don't know Hollywood that much. We protect here because of Grassy Glide. And then I would probably like to switch into Calyrex Ice. Even though Weavile's here, I think that's probably my outcome. But yeah, I'm not super big into actors and actresses, so I can't really tell you who's going to do the best job as Wonder Woman. What I can say is that I do hope they bring in Wonder Woman with the same sort of, like, atmosphere. Honestly, the same sort of message as well. I feel like she could have done with this plot a lot better, given her sort of way more... Like, Wonder Woman... Like, obviously, Superman was political and stuff like that. I feel like there was a message to be had. And there's always a message with Superman in the sense of, like, oh, he speaks for hope and stuff like that. Like, that's always been a part of Superman's character. But I feel like with Wonder Woman's whole persona of, like, keeping the peace and stuff like that, you know, don't raise an arm if you don't have to, if you can extend it. I think that it would have benefited a lot had it... Hang on, I don't want to switch Kyogre into that. I want to switch Kyogre into Flutter Mane. No. Do I want to do that? Switch Kyogre into Amoonguss. And then let Calyrex Ice Glacial Lance. I think that's the play. But yeah. I think that having Wonder Woman be a peacekeeper, like, you know, do her thing, Because I'm very scared about how they'll have Wonder Woman in this. And because it is successful, it will influence... Is this Terra Water Rillaboom? It could be Terra Water Rillaboom. Terra Dark. Okay. Not the worst outcome. Unless it has knockoff or something. Sunny Day, that's funny. That's a funny tech. Terra Dark knockoff, that's not gonna kill. That is gonna do a lot though. Oh my god. But I think that because this Superman movie was so successful, people are gonna latch onto this universe for a long time. Right? And so you have now this responsibility of we gotta do a good Wonder Woman like interpretation. And you know, with the way the world is, it's not gonna be like people are gonna hate it regardless, because what a woman in a lead of a movie, especially a character like Wonder Woman, who is always the second strongest on the team, like the best martial artist and stuff like that. Like Wonder Woman is already inherently a character that people are like, whoa, this is crazy. People are gonna be like, oh, why isn't she hot or whatever, stuff like that. I do hope Wonder Woman is hot, but I think that for the sake of the DC universe, I really hope they nail Wonder Woman. And I mean, this could be the start. Marvel is kind of dropping off, so this could really, really be the start of something super cool. Icy Wind Weavile. I mean, that only helps me because I'm setting up Trick Room. Also, the Rillaboom is going to hit a Moongus and get Rocky Helmet rocked. U-turn. Fascinating. Okay. Well, that's good for me. We're going to get some value out of this. Interested to see what they switch to. I feel like... have we seen anything else? I don't think we have, because he terrored Rillaboom. But he didn't switch it. This is his first Pokemon that we're gonna see and we're gonna learn. Grimmsnarl. Okay, maybe setting up Reflect. That's not great. But we're Trick Rooming here for sure. And then I just click Glacial Lance. I don't like Weavile just staring down Calyrex here, but I think it'll be fine. Moongus, I need you to Spore that Weavile, and then I need you to Glacial Lance that Grimmsnarl and Weavile. Do big damage. Like, Marvel... The way Marvel is right now, obviously it's way more established, and I don't think that DC will ever truly catch up to, like, the 15-year run, give or take, that Marvel went on. Truly, that was generational. Right? Nothing will ever replicate that. But I think that this is the start for DC to make their own sort of legacy. Because if they make DC very silly like how Superman was, obviously you could tell a very real story. But if they aren't afraid to have fun, they aren't afraid to be whimsical, because they didn't hold your hand with Superman at all. They just said, here's the world, here's what's going on, here's what the story we're going to tell. And you're just gonna kind of deal with it. I don't know. I think they have something really good on their hands, because there's so much you can do, and so many stories you could tell if you just don't limit yourself to being grounded in realism. I think that was a problem with the MCU, is that a lot of it felt way too grounded in realism, you know. And obviously that helped it appeal to like mainstream, like wide success across everybody. That's why, like, oh, people aren't asking these dumb questions. It's like, oh, it's sci-fi, it's technology. But I think that it sort of stems into some problems, whereas DC is just like, people have superpowers, you know? And I think that that's definitely good. Let's see. Kyogre is just gonna... we can just Water Spout. And then I actually... How many turns left do I have on Trick Room? 2. I mean, honestly, I'm just gonna Glacial Lance again. Ladder? That's crazy. That's a funny tech. But you're still gonna die to this Water Spout. I'd be very surprised if you don't die to this Water Spout. Die to this Glacial Lance. Well, this game is over before it began. Anyway, crit was just unnecessary BM. I think that the Superman movie craze is back. I'm very interested to see how good Fantastic Four is. I think that Fantastic Four... I mean, I love the Fantastic Four personally. Like, just as a method for telling stories. I think that they're really cool. I love all 4 of them. I think they're great characters. They have Franklin, although I think Franklin's like a baby in the movie. So, who knows. But I really don't know how well, like, how good Fantastic Four is gonna be. I hope very. But we'll see. Thunderbolts was really good. I thought that Thunderbolts was very, very good. I definitely was pleasantly surprised. Sucker Punch is not going to kill Calyrex. I was definitely pleasantly surprised with Thunderbolts. As someone who, like, wasn't really into the MCU as much anymore, like, I'll always be partially into it just because I'm a superhero fan. I love superheroes more than anything. Like, I'm going to check out everything to do with superheroes. But I know that, like, I know that Marvel is not what it used to be. It's very directionless right now with the Kang stuff, with having to recast for Doctor Doom. There's so much going on with the Doctor Doom stuff, and I don't know if they know what they're doing at all. I just win because he either kills Kyogre or he doesn't, and I Terra Fairy and just click Glacial Lance so that he doesn't kill me. Alright, well, that's this game over, but my conversation is not over because I feel like there's just a weird limbo right now. I don't feel like superhero fatigue is actually real. You look at like Marvel Rivals and stuff, you look at... I don't think there will ever be a time when people truly never are interested in superheroes. I think it is just specifically because the MCU just took a dip in quality. I think that the DC, not the DC, excuse me, the Disney shows just, like, weren't up to snuff, and it sort of rubbed people the wrong way, and it was like, okay, well, like, why do I watch when I know these are going to be bad, just for the sake of keeping up, you know? And what should have been, like, hey, let's keep ourselves grounded again, we've got to build ourselves back up after Endgame, turned into, like, well, let's just throw this cameo in, let's throw this cameo in, let's throw this cash grab or whatever, like, hey, here's a random loose end, let's make a whole show or make a whole series about it. I think it was definitely, okay, we have an actually good team. Well, we have a team. I don't know if I'd call it a good team, but it's definitely a team. Okay, let's just go with you guys. Like, there was too many cash grabs, there was too many just genuinely bad products, which is a shame because the good products of Phase 4 and 5 of Marvel, like, they deserve to be talked about. Deadpool and Wolverine, amazing. I think that Multiverse of Madness was great. Obviously, Spider-Man No Way Home is a classic. Black Panther 2, amazing. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, like, these are all great movies. I think that... Does Meow's Karate get fake out? Just in case. I don't actually know if that's true or not. It might click U-turn into Amoonguss instead, in which case I will Moonblast Umbreon. I think that because of all the bad, people just chose to ignore the good. And also just because it became kind of trendy to hate on Marvel, which, I mean, that's just a thing with the internet. It's just like, okay, well, this thing we liked, it's been a few years, now let's hate on it. Oh, this wasn't ever actually really all that good or whatever. People are just lying. But I just feel like, okay, here's the U-turn like I predicted. I mean, this is going to do some damage, but it's fine. We get the Rocky Helmet chip. I feel like just the general loop around is going to be big if DC is able to capitalize, because honestly, it feels like the inverse of a couple years ago. A couple years ago, it was DC had the games, DC had like the animations and stuff, Marvel had the movies. Now Marvel is making fire games. So you really have to take a look of, okay, well then, let's make sure that DC makes good movies, you know? This Moonblast is gonna kill unless he's Focus Sash. She's not. Just an easy kill. I don't know what he was doing there. I mean, his whole team's weak to Flutter Mane, so whatever. All Mind. Who do you think you are? But get out of here. What? No. Get out of here. I got Calyrex in the bag. You suck. Go to sleep. Go to bed. Oh man, but I completely lost my train of thought, I'm not gonna lie. I was too busy making fun of Umbreon. There's Meowscarada. I just feel like, in general, we're gonna double you because Calm Mind means that you're gonna live this Moonblast. I feel like there's just a big cycle going on. I think Superman could capitalize. Superman could be the start of something big, or it can be just a one-hit wonder. You never actually know. Could just be a one-time thing. Hey, we made a good movie for once. Alright, well, okay, Flower Trick. It's gonna just one-shot my Flutter Mane. My Flutter Mane is actually Focus Sash, so yeah, we're okay. And then Pollen Puff, it's not gonna kill, but it's gonna do some damage, yeah. Alright, Amoonguss, I'm gonna need you to Pollen Puff the Meowscarada, and then I'll Moonblast the Umbreon. And if they're probably gonna U-turn, actually. They're gonna U-turn on the Flutter Mane slot. That's probably what I would do, so you don't instantly die to Pollen Puff. Umbreon wakes up, doesn't matter, unless you protect, which you protect. Okay, that's the best possible scenario, because now you could just get away with doing anything on Meowscarada. That's annoying. Night Slash. Interesting. That's certainly fascinating. That's... okay. You live. Okay. That's fine. Calyrex, Ice, Glacial Lance. And we're gonna Terra Fairy. Or actually, I could Rage Powder. I don't need to Terra Fairy. We're gonna Rage Powder. And then we're just gonna Glacial Lance, and we're gonna guaranteed get one boost. At least one. Because, yeah, no, we're gonna get at least one boost with this Rage Powder. Unless you're like Safety Goggles, Meowscarada, that'd be funny. You are Safety Goggles, Meowscarada. Pass. Who's living this? Who on your team is living this? Miraidon is not living this. You can give a Calm Mind to him, he's not living. There's literally no way. I would be shocked if Miraidon... Is this Focus Sash? There's gotta be Focus Sash. Because you're not... Electric Seed? Even at +1, I don't think you live. Wow, it does. Okay. Well, I have Rage Powder. And then I'll get up Trick Room. And then with a Chilling Neigh, I for sure kill. Okay. Calm Mind, Electric Sea. I kind of rock with that. That's a fun little tech, but you're not gonna win this. Umbreon, yeah. I don't even know what you're doing. But we're gonna Rage Powder, and then we're gonna Trick Room. Terra? What are we terroring? Miraidon, Terra Electric? You're just gonna try to one-shot... Yeah, you're just gonna try to one-shot Amoonguss? Or is it Discharge? Could be Discharge. I don't know if you one-shot me, though. I mean, you might. You're at +1. We'll see. Parabolic Charge. We might be cooked, actually. Nope, we're fine. Okay. That's... No, we're fine. No, we're fine. We are absolutely fine. Wow. We might not be fine. I mean... but I can't put him to sleep. Because of electric terrain. I can't put him to sleep. I have to double into the Miraidon and make sure that I kill. It's fine, we will. I have faith. Yeah, that did nothing, but this should be enough. It is not, no. Dude, that's crazy, man. That's so unfortunate. Miraidon's actually gonna sweep me here. and because of the electric terrain, I couldn't spore him. That's an unfortunate loss to end the day on, dude. That's like these. Me yapping about these superhero movies is getting me fucked. That is rough. I mean, I still have Terra, but this is a very rough situation to be in, because Grimmsnarl does not like this. Grimmsnarl does not eat any of these for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Terra Steel is not helpful. I mean, I might as well, I guess. Light Screen? No, I just wanna Spirit Break. I'll just Terra Steel, waste his time a little bit. We Terra Steel, just get Spirit Break, find a special attack. We gotta see how much this does, but I would bet it does enough. Yeah, it does enough. Electro Drifts, that's all she wrote. There's no way. Grimmsnarl? Yeah, no. That was actually a fun little set they had there with the Umbreon, with the baton pass. I like that. But yeah, GG's, man. That was good. Anyway, enough yapping about superhero movies. I think we're gonna call it. Overall, though, that turned less of a Superman review and more of like a superhero movies over the past 5 years review. But Superman, overall, some pros. I really like the political messaging. I think it was very important. I think that the people who were like conservatives who were like yelling on Twitter, just kind of reaching a little bit, it's very dumb. I put no faith in it. Superman himself was very done. I think that the Clark Kent performance, everything. His parents were done great. I think that the side cast was great. Lex Luthor was phenomenal. Some of the cons, I think that the Justice Gang bit, while funny, it's like, if you're gonna open the gates of the Justice League, why is it like Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific? As cool as Mr. Terrific was, I think Mr. Terrific was fine. But like, Guy Gardner as the first Green Lantern in this series is just like, alright, bro, like, what are we doing? I think that another con is like Ultraman. I think Ultraman is an antagonist. Like, all of Lex Luthor's cronies, like his superpowered cronies, were either just robots or like Ultraman and the nanotech chick. I think they were pretty lame. I wasn't super into them as much as I was into Lex specifically. He was really cool. All the fight choreography was great though. Visuals amazing, 10 out of 10. It was a visual feast, the whole movie. But anyway, I'm gonna call it. Hope you guys appreciated the video, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, y'all.